The Brownlow Medal count is the most glamorous awards night in Australian television, but that wasn't always the case. When Neil Roberts won in 1958, he heard the count on the radio at home in Beaumaris, sitting with his father Ted. Welcome, Neil. Tell us how Brownlow Medal night unfolded all those years ago.
Well, it was in Brighton, actually. I went up to see my dad because he had a radio and I didn't.
You didn't?
Back in the days of black and white radio, it was. But we listened to the count in between doing the dishes and all that sort of thing. I didn't think I'd hope, of course.
You must have given yourself some chance. I mean, you'd won the Sporting Globe Player of the Year award.
Yes, that's right. I thought... Back in 55, I thought I had a chance, but I didn't think I'd played quite as well. But there you go. You don't know with the medal, do you? And I thought I had a good year after, and it wasn't. I only polled about 12 votes or something. So it's very hard to gauge.
So going into that count, you've gone to your father's place. Now, what were can you remember what your thoughts were when you've gone? Did you say, Dad, I'm coming over because I'm some chance, or I just want to hear the count?
I didn't say that. I just went to visit him.
Yeah.
But I knew he had a radio. It was brilliant in those days. I got the medal at the MCG with John Brady and Butch Gale.
Yeah.
But you go back a little further.
Before you leave that, you were presented with the medal on the grand final day?
No, it wasn't grand final day. It was
first semi-final.
First semi-final.
Okay, so the captains. The second and third place getters ran a lap with you, is that right?
They did.
Yeah.
And that was good because I'd had a few either side of me. So, no, that was really marvellous, to be in front of that crowd and to actually meet Sir Kenneth Luke was just a big, big thrill for me.
So 30 years before you, it was different again, wasn't it?
Well, Albert, I believe in those days with Collingwood, you had to live within 200 metres of the ground, yards of the ground, otherwise you wouldn't get a game, You're never late for training, all that sort of thing. And Albert's in the backyard in the twilight, sundown, cutting wood. His father came to the back door and said, Albert, there's a letter here for you. Yeah, read it to me, Dad. I don't know whether he could read, but he said, you have to go to Harrison House on Monday night to pick up some medal or other. Oh, righto, Dad. That's it. So we've come a long way.
It's the Brownlow Medal, yeah.
That was the Brownlow Medal.
And now we see it. I mean, it is a massive event. It's probably the highest rating event of the year.
It is.
You go every year as part of the cavalcade of previous Brownlow medalists.
Well, I just think it was such an honour, and to be with other Brownlow medalists on that night just hit me so hard that, I just felt the celebration and the ceremony is warranted. And it's the most coveted award you can get. And it really thrilled me to be with Ron Clegg and all those other fellows. And so I made sure I went for the current medalist because I knew how much it would mean to him. So I didn't miss any, except I was in Antarctica in '72 when Len Thompson won it. And I sent a congratulatory telegram or a radphone message back to him. When I got back in '73 and I met Len, I said, "Did you get my telegram?" He said, "I think I did." He said, "I was in Antarctica at the time," and Len's retort was, "Where's that?" So anyway, look, I go every year.
Yes, and I know one thing, that's in deference to the Brownlow medalist of more recent times. You are very big and always have been on the fact that the Brownlow medalist is for the fairest and best.
Well, I've just thought, being on the tail end of Queen Victorian chauvinism in that era where, you played for the honour and glory, you didn't play for money, you played for the right reasons. We were born in the right 50 years. We had the best of it. And it was just in the first place, it was fairest and best. I read the citation and then I went to best and fairest. We eased up a bit. And I see now it's back to fairest and best, and I congratulate the AFL on doing that. On the invitation, it's fairest and best award, and that's wonderful because the repercussions of having that fairest taken out of the citation is immeasurable to the young. It has to remain. We have to maintain the standard, and we have to have the aspirations right. Otherwise, the game's polluted. You're
passionate about this. I know I've written stories, as have other journos, of you over the years when there's been a push to delete the fairest element.
Yeah.
You said, and have said several times, you would give your medal back if they dropped the fairest.
Correct.
And you would honour that?
I would do that.
It's not an idle threat?
Not an idle threat, no. I don't know what it's worth, but it's worth a lot to my family and that sort of thing. But I think so much of it that it'd go straight in the river.
Really?
Either that or I'd give it to the MCC they
For
can
the
do what
museum,
they
yeah.
like. You know.
Okay, let me ask you this, hypothetically. I'll just pick a couple of names out there. Dipper, Robert De Domenico, and
Yep.
Greg Williams tied
Yep.
for the medal one year.
Right.
Now, I'm not sure that they always qualified under the fairest element.
Well, it depends. As I said to you before, it depends. I don't mind rough football as long as it's secretive. But, no, seriously, I like vigorous. Otherwise, there's no joy in being knocked down and getting back up again. That's one of the big joys of contact sport, is to give them everything you've got and cop everything they can give and still have a beer with the fellow after the game.
But is that fair if blokes...
It's a hard game. It's like life. It's tough. You know, it was... Today, the injuries are so bad because it's so fast.
Yep.
And they do so much work and they play honest football. The boys are brave today. There's no doubt about that.
Let me take you back to 58. Did you either whack anyone or were you regularly whacked by Ronnie Clegg or Ted Whitten or those people?
I was regularly whacked. But look, you expect that. You expect a whack in the mouth. If you go out on the ground and don't expect to come back battered and bruised, you're not having a go.
So why are you so committed to this fair element of the Brownlow Award when that's clearly not fair?
Yeah, but they're only little flips. You don't.
Are they?
Yeah, well, you don't feel them in the heat of battle, mate. You don't feel it. I'm sure that I've heard Lee Matthews say, and how he, you know, I used to question 9 times best and fairest Lee Matthews.
I think 8.
8, all right. Well, it tells you something about Hawthorn, but that's all right. That's their credo and that's the way they live. But, you know, he looked back on his career and he said, I didn't like that young man. You know, he didn't like himself in that contest.
No, he has said that. Oh, he said that was the culture of the time.
Yeah, okay. But, you know, I don't think people should punch and elbow, and particularly, like, you know, that elbow, you can break a car window with that.
Yep.
You can break a bloke's skull with it. I don't believe in all that, but just to get the ball, you've got to be pretty rugged to get the ball in some of the packs. And I don't care about the body contact.
You don't have to know where your Brownlow is, do you?
Oh, ask me something easier. Oh, here it is. There, look, the moths gave it back.
So you and Kevin Murray
Look
both
at that. Look at the moths.
won't leave home without it.
No. I haven't seen this for 100 years.
What does it mean to you, having that? Well, it's not a massive piece of jewellery, but it's. But what does it mean in a spiritual sense?
To be a 2-cent piece, it's a significance of it.
Yeah.
And when you think of the people who've won it, it's just amazing that you're up there in that company. That's what it amounts to. But look, I'm no different to anyone else. I was just a bit lucky.
You started in 1952 in the VFL of the time.
Yeah.
You played your first 5 years as an amateur.
Correct.
You wisely changed your mind when you won the Sporting Globe.
It was foisted on me.
With the 100 quid you got. Why? So you've played 5 years of football for nothing?
Yeah.
Just for the sheer enjoyment of the game?
Yeah, I love the amateur concept. My ideal family was the Cordner family.
Yeah.
I looked up to those boys and their father and everybody in that Cordner family. And to me, that was the ethos. You know, I followed Melbourne in those days. And matter of fact, I lived on the wrong side of the road. I could have played for Melbourne, but the line of demarcation went down the middle of Elizabeth Street.
Really?
I said to my old man, can I go and live with a woman over the road for 6 weeks so that I can qualify and play for Melbourne? He wouldn't let me.
And you would have played in 5 premiership teams?
Oh, well, if I got a game.
No, you would have got a game.
Yeah.
St Kilda won 3 Brownlows in a row in that season. 57, Brian Gleeson, 58, Neil Roberts, and 59, retrospectively, Verdon Howe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've had our share. I mean, Ross Smith, we had, of course, we had
Stewie and
Ross Smith, and then Tony Lockett.
Yep. Robert Harvey,
of course. Yeah, we've got a great history, St Kilda. We just haven't won flags, that's all, because we don't get it right off the ground.
Yep.
And that's where they come from.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. The celebrations in those days, Coconut, we're talking 50-odd years ago. You went to Channel 9 on the night of the count.
Yeah.
What did these days, the teammates go into the casino and celebrate. What happened in that time?
Well, the casino wasn't built.
Thank you. But there was St Kilda Town Hall, wasn't there?
Yeah, but you couldn't bet there.
So, but what, did you go out and get on the squirt?
No, not really. I wasn't a big celebrator, and I think things are over celebrated to Billy-O now. And I don't remember having a birthday party. Only my 80th.
Yeah. No, you're not 80.
No, I am. I'm 80 in a few months.
But you didn't. There were no celebrations.
No.
And did it change your life at all?
It changed it enormously. Yeah.
Did it?
I was Neil Roberts, the Brownlow medalist.
Yeah.
Whereas before I was just Neil Roberts, and that's a thing I tried to maintain, is something that you don't see a hell of a lot of nowadays because of it's like that. Is humility. And I think I said last year, I did my first job at the Sporting Globe on Ian Stewart. I went down to write the story about Ian, and he said, don't write about me. He'd come into the club, he bought his own football, his own boots, his own jumper and the whole thing. Terrific the way he came in. And we signed him and he's never played a senior game. He said, don't write about me yet, wait till I do something.
Yeah.
So I went outside and a kid came up, I'd been retired for 3 months, and a kid came up with an autograph book and said, excuse me, but didn't you used to be Neil Roberts? And I thought, I'm going to carry that forever.
Hey, Coco, I remember one of my fondest childhood memories is seeing a photo of Freddie Goldsmith in all his fireman regalia on the front page of The Sun.
Yeah.
Was your photo on the front page of The Sun when you won the medal? It was?
Yeah, and the Herald, I think.
So they came out on the night and took your photo?
Yep, and they took a photo of me doing the teaching at Gold Street, Collingwood.
Okay. I want to ask you about one of your teammates, the late Alan Jeans.
Yeah.
You played with Jeansy.
Yeah.
Now, this is almost inconceivable. He became your coach in 1961?
Correct.
He was 27 years of age.
Yeah.
And he was 3 months younger than you. Now, that is hard to believe, isn't it?
It is.
You and he, there was some bad blood between you two, wasn't there?
Well, yeah, unfortunately, Mike, we had it was a terrible thing. It was superimposed on us from above. There was a religious split.
Oh, okay.
A religious split. It was the Protties and the Mix, you might as well say it. And then when Alan Killigrew came in, it compounded. He wanted an all Catholics in Kilda. And,
really?
That was said. I don't know. He never said that to me. I got on very well with Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah, very well. We were the last out of the bath every night, all that sort of thing. We talked footy.
Yeah.
And he actually coached St Kilda by default. Bob Wilkie had the job and didn't want to go on with it. He'd be all right.
And became Alan's GM selectors.
Yes. Yeah. And he became, then Alan took over to help the club out.
Alan Jeans did.
Alan Jeans. Yeah. But he, for somehow, we were at loggerheads.
What, from the start?
Right.
Oh, as players, as teammates, or not?
It was not. No, I think it was more socially. We just didn't mix. It was oil and water.
Was that a sectarian issue?
And it was most unfortunate. And we tried, ever since. I can't deny it was there. It was there, and as it was in some other clubs as well. And I'm terribly disappointed in the fact that it did occur. So much so that when Alan was sick, I wrote him a letter, and on the way down to post it, he died. So I've still got the letter at home. I'm going to give it to his son. And I just explained that, there's no malice, and it was an unfortunate thing that was foisted on us. Because I said to Alan, I was 29, and I had to do a university course, otherwise I'd have missed it. I'd have lost it. And I said to him, look, I've been playing around. I need a bit of a spell. I've been sent out back for 8 years, and I haven't got much ability, but I was athletic. And when you lose your spring, and I played in the centre with Doc at centre half forward. I said, we used to kick 7 between us. He'd kick 6 and I'd kick 1. But it was like that. But it was so good playing with him. Could I next year maybe, play up the field a bit and freshen me up? Oh, don't bother. I don't think that. So I went out and signed with Casey and Richards in the car outside straight away. But it was unfortunate.
So you went straight to World of Sport from being a St Kilda captain?
Yep. straight in.
The sectarian thing is interesting. I know it's a long time ago and lots of things have changed, but we're talking... Alan Jeans wasn't Catholic, but married a Catholic, right? Mary was a Catholic.
Yeah, there was a story that he changed, but I don't think he did. I don't know.
So why was it... I mean, you've got to... People, even as old as I am, don't understand how deep that divide was at the time.
No, it was deep. And it was very unfortunate. It didn't matter how you tried to sort of mend it. There was just not the climate for it to merge. And, and I believe that he felt more comfortable about his coaching if he didn't have fellas like me around.
So do you think he wanted the old guard out?
I think he wanted the old guard out. And I don't blame you for that.
But Brian Gleeson was a Catholic, the bloke who preceded you on the Brownlow Medal honour list.
Well, I brought this up with Brian, as a matter of fact, at a Brownlow night. And I said, were you aware of the split that we had? No, I wasn't aware of it.
Really?
And I said, are you serious? He said, yeah. And anyway, I got a phone call the moment I got home. It was Brian. And he said, listen, I must have had something to do with that. And if I did, I'm sorry.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Wow.
And now it's great because I've made my peace with Alan and I've made it with Brian Gleeson. Not that I ever thought anything against. I mean, he was given the captaincy in 57.
And then he did his knee.
And did his knee and couldn't... And he got the extra 30 bob and I didn't. And I captained the side. No, we joke about that.
But you said you made your peace with Alan. But did you? Is that true?
I tried to.
You tried to? Yeah. What was in the letter, Coconut? What was the essence of it?
The essence was... it was... You're aware that, I'm aware as aware as you of this split and I just want to say that I tried severely to patch it up and to bring myself to... And we got on quite well. And I just want you to know that I bear no malice or ill feeling at all. And it was terribly unfortunate. And the unfortunate thing was that we didn't do it as personalities. It came from above. But we were stupid enough to pick up the reins and play out the scene.
So I'm still not sure who above. Who do you mean when you say above?
Well, people on the committee. There was John Riley, and there was Graham Huggins and Ian Drake, and there were two factions.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Okay. And you, Genji was coach.
Yep.
And you were captain.
That's right.
And the relationship wasn't strong.
Well, It's a funny thing. When you go out to play football, unfortunately, the first thing you do is play for yourself. You're no good if you can't beat your opponent. And then the rest comes later. Freud said that. He said, what is it? Personal pride, whether I can beat you or you can beat me. Self-recognition, love, hate, money, loyalty to the group. And unfortunately, that loyalty to the group has to be picked up and put in about third. And Hawthorn did that. He was a great coach at Hawthorn. Jeansy, yeah. He did.
He did change, didn't he?
He did change, but he had wonderful material and wonderful backing. And there was money over there that we didn't have.
Neil, you never coached. I know you were big into academia when you finished your football, and you went to Antarctica, but you never coached. Although I do remember writing a story when I was working at the Age in the late 70s, I think.
77, 78, yeah.
That linked Neil Roberts with the coaching position at Carlton.
Yeah.
Was the story correct?
It was correct, for a change.
My stories or the media general?
Your story. No, it's a serious question, and I am still a frustrated coach. I feel very jealous of coaches who coach in the finals, and it goes right back to Barassi, when he was in the 70s, he was just... And they wrote that book, The Coach.
Yep.
I thought that was just
marvellous
a great
book.
stuff.
Yep.
It was great. Anyway, George Harris was the president in those days, and he came to me and he said, you should coach the club. You're just what we want. We've got a good side. We've got some champions, and we've got some also, but we've got a good, solid, balanced side. All they need is a bit of self-belief. And I thought, gee, that'd be that'd be all right, you know, except that I'd been in a bingle with Barassi in a motor car, and I was in a wheelchair. And I said, look, I'm sort of a hands-on sort of a bloke, really. I'm not a great orator, and I don't believe in the blah, blah, blah and the thumping on the table. I said, but, you know, I'm more analytical than that, but I like to demonstrate, and I like to... Oh, Serge can do that. You can do it from... Tell him what to do from the chair, and Serge can do it. Anyway, I was going to... So I went to Bill Sarong, my old mate.
Yep.
I said, Bill, we were in the pub opposite Southern Cross where I'd arranged to meet the committee, George and the committee. And Bill said to me after the third pot, he said, if you can't prove professional disadvantage, then I can't get you much out of this case. I can get you whatever. But if
this is the case
for damages for the road accident. And if you can prove professional disadvantage, I can get you a heck of a lot more. I won't tell you how much, but... So I thought about it as I walked across to the Southern Cross, and I made the wrong decision. You can make wrong decisions. I've made a few. And I walked in and there they are sitting there it was like the Nuremberg trials. We have ways to make you talk, this sort of thing.
So the job
was mine. All I had to say was yes or no.
Yep.
And I chose to take the money instead of the position.
Money from the court case?
Yep.
Yeah.
For the court case.
Yeah.
I bought a farm with that.
Yeah.
And I was very pleased in one way that I did that. But as it turned out, I would only have had to have been a van. That's half a coach.
Yeah.
to just pick this mob up.
Well, you don't need to be reminded, mate, that they won the 79, 81 and 82 flags.
I know, but that proved what a team they were. Yeah. So that's just the mistake you make.
Neil, you're universally known as Coconut. What's the origin of that nickname?
I played polo, so one day I had a crew cut, and I went along we had a bloke, Jack Closey, who was the barman down at St Kilda, and he said, he was a funny man, and he said to me, have a look at your head, Coconut. He said, no, have a look at your head. It's like a shaved coconut, and it's stuck, and it's just one of those things.
So you've had that for 50 odd years?
Yeah, my word, yeah.
When we come back, we're going to talk to a bloke who won 2 Brownlow medals.
Okay.
The North Melbourne champ, Keith Greig.
Oh, what a wonderful player.
But you've really set the stage. It's been great talking to you about footy in the 50s and your thoughts on football and to relive some of those memories. So thanks for your time, Coconut, and good luck.
No worries, Mick.
A Brownlow medalist for 1973, ladies and gentlemen, Keith Greig. Welcome, Keith.
Mike, thank you.
I was at the Southern Cross for both of your Brownlow medal wins. I remember 1973 vividly, a shy 22-year-old North Melbourne winger getting up on stage and receiving the first of his medals. Tell us what that was like.
Well, it was different because a young kid coming through from Brunswick, not thinking I was going to play footy. Fortunately for myself, I went to North when they weren't all that successful, so I was lucky enough to be in an era of the club where I was not given games, but I could play games early, so that sort of, my career sort of built from there. And then it actually started 71, played all the year with Brian Dixon, who was our first coach for 2 years. I played under him for 2 years. Then Barassi came, and of course, it all sort of just happened for me. A lot of people at the club thought I wouldn't make it, and also people outside the club thought I wouldn't make it.
Well, on the basis of what? That you were sort of frail? I mean, you were thin.
Well, I was only 11 stone 7, whatever that is in kilo.
Yeah.
So they thought that I wasn't ready for footy, and but it all just happened for me. I was lucky that, as I said before, that I went to North when they weren't successful, so I was blooded early with Brian Dixon because he wanted to have youth come through as the team, and he played me. In that first year, I played state footy.
Yeah, I knew that. After
9 games.
8 and 9 games.
Yeah, so it sort of happened for me.
That 73 Brownlow win, what were your expectations when you went to the count?
Well, I didn't have any expectations at all. I went there to just have a few beers with the guys who had been invited on the night. And as the count got further and further on, the drinks,
pushed the
instead
beer
of
away.
being beer, you started grabbing water, and then the water stopped, and then you became really dry in the mouth, and you wouldn't eat. And there's a couple of photos of myself there. You could see I was ashen in the face. Not that I'm.
You were ashen.
Not that I'm all that colourful now.
You were
but,
naturally ashen.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you beat Graham Moss and Lee Matthews in the first minute. Outstanding, Mossy, outstanding ruckman and a Brownlow medalist himself, and the great Lee Matthews. You didn't win the best and first at North that year, did you?
No, I think I finished 5th that year.
5th, did you?
Yeah.
Was it now? Equate that for us. I mean, the umpires have said you're the best player in the competition.
Yep.
Your own club has got you 5th. Who got it right?
Well, a lot of times they're talking about it now, how the club knows what role the players to play on a Saturday. Now, where the umpires obviously don't know that. So if a player goes out to mind someone or tag someone, the club obviously knows that, and they do a good job and get 2 kicks, and the opponent they're playing on gets 1. Well, I know, so you voted accordingly. But the disparity between me winning the Brownlow and finished 5th in the best and fairest, I didn't take all that much.
Didn't care? Didn't worry you?
Didn't worry.
No.
I actually worried a lot of other people. Media and people around the club, but I didn't care at all.
1974, Keith.
Yeah.
Kevin Bartlett is the red-hot favourite, the Richmond champ. You win your 2nd medal.
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened after the announcement of the presentations?
Mike Williamson said he's won it again because the count was staged because all the votes weren't round by round. They were just all in a group. And normally when the count was done, it was the club came first. On the last vote, it was called K, and everyone thought it was going to be Bartlett, but it came out Greig.
And the final vote, ladies and gentlemen, goes to K. Greig, North Melbourne.
He's won it again. Greig has won it with 27 votes.
So I won it again, and Mike Williams said he's won it again. So everyone's jumped up and down on the table, and I don't think the Richmond people are all that happy because when Max Ritchie walked out into the foyer of
Max Ritchie's the chairman of Selectors at North Melbourne.
Walked out into the foyer of the Southern Cross. He bumped into a couple of Richmond officials, and I think there's a few punches thrown.
I remember that altercation. I think Charlie Priestley led the Richmond group, and Max Ritchie for North. Richmond were really aghast at the fact that Bartlett had been nutted again. Yep. And I don't know about the blokes, but I do know that there was sufficient animation amongst the group for me to write a story for The Age that night about this fracas after the Brownlow count.
Yeah, exactly. And Alan Schwab, who was the secretary of the club at that stage, said a few things and was quoted in the papers on the news. And I got a letter from Alan, would have been 10 days later, apologising.
Swabby apologised?
Apologised for what he said. And
so the essence of his comments, Keith?
I think he was just hurt on the night that that Kevin hadn't won the Brownlow and he was just venting, so I understood all that. There's no problems for me.
Do you, in your time, we're talking 40 years ago, were the umpires, now don't take, there's no implication in this question, but did the umpires get it right? Did they seem now to be consistent with the media awards, less so in those days. Do you agree?
It's hard to say, Mike. When you think of, like you said, Moss, Matthews,
and
all those guys
Hardiman and Bartlett,
who
they were the
haven't
next
won
year,
Brownlows, you look back and say they should have won Brownlows, but as I said, all I could do was go out on a Saturday and play, and if the umpires saw me to get the 3 votes or the 2 or the 1, I couldn't do anything about that. 2
Brownlows, you're in the AFL team of the 20th century, 75 premiership.
Thanks, Mo, for that.
Do you want to rank them? I mean, I presume the premiership.
Premiership's by far is a standout. The second would be the best and fairest. I had won in 1980 at North, and that was special for a couple of reasons. Hadn't won obviously before then, and the winning it, leading up to the winning it, was special for me too. Yeah. Because I had quite a few issues with the club and the coach and.
Yeah, the coach was Ron Barassi.
Yes.
There's a couple of famous examples of some tension between coach and his dual Brownlow medalist.
Yep.
One of them was that he said, and he's since apologised for this.
Yes, I know that.
He said, if it wasn't for football, you'd be nothing but a shit plumber. Yep. That cut you deeply, didn't it?
Oh, it did. Not only myself, but my family as well, and also players who I would have thought would have brushed it off. Barry Davis and Doug Wade also thought it was a terrible thing to say. And that was just a small part of what was said to me over the career I had with Barassi. Just a small part.
Really? So there was another occasion that I'm aware of after your 74 Brownlow win.
Yep.
the next time you saw Ron? What did he say?
Well, it was because we were playing finals and the Brownlow wasn't held in the last week of the finals.
The Monday after the last
home and away game. So I've driven into Arden Street under the car park there and went to walk into the change rooms, and Brass fronted me just before I went in, and he said, "Just because you won the Brownlow medal, don't think you're better than any other player here."
Wow.
I mean, that was terrific. You know, walking in, going to play a final on the Saturday, and I copped that.
I think that the view of Ron is that most of us think he believes if you're born with talent, you've got a responsibility to maximise that. Yeah.
I say to him, you can be born with as much talent as whoever's got it. If you don't apply it, you may as well just walk out the front door of somewhere and not even play footy.
Yeah. Do you think he picked on, as in the schoolyard expression, do you think he picked on you, or was it you and Blighty and Cabes and all those naturally talented people?
The guys who are naturally talented, I don't know whether he picked on's the right word. I think he thought we didn't work hard enough for the talent we had. It was just given to us, so at times we just go out and do it. He put more credence and faith in blokes who had to work especially hard to get where they were.
Well, it's interesting, you're on one wing and Shimmer, your Brunswick teammates, on the other wing.
Yeah.
And we always had the suspicion that he loved Shimmer.
Loved Shimmer.
Yeah,
everyone loved Shimmer.
Yeah, because of the way he played his footy.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you, I mean, my memory of you is that you applied yourself, your fitness was always perfect.
I always thought I did, Mike.
Yeah.
I really did. And as I said, if you got untold amount of ability and you don't use it well, you're no good to anyone.
Did the relationship with Ron sour your affection for the game, or for North Melbourne?
I did. At the end of 1979, I was going to walk out of North, and I spoke to him about it in Ron Joseph's office at North, and he said, "What do you want me to do?" I said, "Well, just leave me alone, let me do what I want to do." And he sort of looked and gave me that Barassi, that thing. And 1980, I didn't speak to him all year.
Really? And you won the best and fairest?
I won the best and fairest. If you see any footage of our games at the half-time or three-quarter time, I'm always at the back of the pack, and just didn't correspond with him at all.
Would you say now that you and Ron are reconciled? I mean, have you...
We're reconciled. Yeah. We're not close friends, but we're friends. I mean, at times I just couldn't stand the guy for the way not only he treated me, but I mean, it wasn't just me, it was my family that offers it. Because I go home and tell Denise and the kids, and not so much the kids, Denise, and she would sort of be wondering what was going on. And there were phone calls went backwards and forwards between Denise and Ron and that sort of thing. So it wasn't a happy time. And I really did turn off footy for probably 3 or 4 years.
Let me remind you of one very, very tense occasion. I was doing a 3-part series on Ron Barassi for the Herald Sun.
Yep.
And I rang you and asked if you would come and meet Ron and me at a cafe in Richmond. Do you remember
That's right,
that?
I do.
You looked pretty tentative as you were walking towards us that day.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know what to expect. I know Brass has mellowed and changed. Obviously, everyone does as they get older. And it was good just to be able to sit down with him and talk about things where it wasn't the hurly-burly of footy. And I really never had much time with Brass outside of football. I didn't mix with him socially or anything like that. It was just football only.
He appreciated that moment. I mean, and to be fair to him, from my perspective, he couldn't understand. He was sort of puzzled as to why.
I know he can't. He can't understand it.
Yeah.
He can't. The
he
times
said,
I've spoken to him,
I like Keith. You know what?
The times I've spoken to him,
with me?
He just can't understand the feelings I had at that time.
Keith, how did the Brownlows change your life? Did they?
Didn't. Not one bit.
No.
Not one bit at all.
So you just did your plumbing?
Still
doing
footy? Still doing the plumbing.
Still doing the plumbing.
Yeah. Go and watch a local footy now. People that come up and often have photographs when I'm at the footy, and I get a few cards to sign every now and then, but honestly, Mike, it hasn't changed my life one little bit.
And did it make you a millionaire?
Well, I could tell you a few stories
about
that.
Tell me now, I want to know.
I'll tell you.
Right,
do you want me to tell you?
Yes, please.
Started in 1971, and the payment for players who played a senior game footy was $30. So in 1971 I started, and I played for Victoria in my first year. I won the Brownlow medal in 1973 and 74. Played in the premiership in 1975, and I was getting the princely sum of $30 a game.
$30 a game.
And I paid $3 tax on that 30.
Wow. Now, the view of at the time was that North had this massive pool of money, but obviously most of it went to blokes who were recruited from South Australia and Western Australia. Well, the Crackers came over while you were there, didn't they?
Crackers came over when I was there. reportedly got a substantial amount of money to play. So, but that never ever concerned any of the guys at North. And I know it's strange to say that, but we never ever spoke about who got what, or I suppose a bit like today. I mean, Buddy talking about going to GWS.
Yeah.
So, what happens when he goes there and the other players are getting so much money?
Well, we talked about the Crackers now, these things, but I think the wisdom of the time was that the Crackers, Jim and Phil, had come over on a 5-year deal.
5-year deal.
For $1 million, is it?
$1 million.
And you still say you didn't care that you're only getting $30 a game?
Didn't care. I must admit, when I finished my playing, which is in 1985, I finished on $30,000, and I paid $12,000 tax on that 30.
Keith, you've got the 75 premiership. No one can take that away from you.
Yep.
77 North win their second flag and play in 2 grand finals, the draw and then the replay. You were the captain of that team and didn't play.
Yep. Hurt my knee in round 7 against Rich in MCG. Tried 4 or 5 weeks getting right. We played, it was a terribly wet year that year. We played Hawthorn at Arden Street. I got through it, and then we played Collingwood at Victoria Park, and before the game I snapped the attachments off my cartilage.
Wow.
So that was the end of me, I was gone. Captain of the club, Stan Alves came from Melbourne, so he sort of slotted into my spot. Of course, we went on to draw and then win the grand final.
How difficult was that?
Oh, it was terribly difficult for me because even though you're part of a club, you're not part of it. Unless you're the guys who run out on the Saturday, a bit like Ben McGlynn last year who missed out. Felt for him because that happens with guys who can play all year and then all of a sudden miss out. And that happened to me, and I had to sit through it twice. So it was pretty hard.
And then there's the celebrations on premiership night.
Well, you really don't feel like
the non-playing.
You're happy for everyone concerned. You're happy for the club, but you feel an emptiness. You really do. Yeah.
Are you a North supporter?
I'm a North supporter.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't go to very many games.
So there's still the emotional involvement when they're playing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't like to watch it if they're losing, switch it on.
But they play a good brand of footy. I mean,
do.
They're a bit fragile.
A little bit inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that'll come. A lot of young kids there. I know Boomer and Drew Petrie have got a bit of age about them, but the basis of their team is pretty young.
Brilliant career, Keith. I always say this to the blokes who sit in that chair, but I mean, it was a thrill to watch you play for all of us. You deserve your spot in the AFL team of the 20th century. And we go from you with your 2 medals to Adam Cooney, a more recent Brownlow medalist after the break. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Mike. I had a good ride.
This program brought to you by Moneyback Specials from sportsbet.com.au. Harvey Norman, shop with confidence, online, mobile, in-store. And the Flame Grilled Whopper, official burger of the AFL. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
I declare the winner of the 2008 Brownlow medal, Adam Cooney of the Western Bulldogs.
Adam, you've been a Brownlow medalist for 5 years now. Does the significance of the achievement grow or diminish?
I think it definitely grows. At first, the first sort of 12 months was more shock than anything else. Like, I still pinch myself sometimes that I have won it, and I think a lot of it is embarrassment too from my end because there were so many great players that year. I certainly wasn't the favourite that night, so sometimes I don't feel like I'm a worthy winner, but I certainly won't be handing it back.
I was going to ask you that. I mean, there are times when I get the feeling, and I don't know you well, but I get the feeling that you occasionally wonder whether you belong in that sort of exalted company. Is it fair?
Yeah, I think it's fair, especially, I suppose, the last 3 seasons that I've had. Since I won the Brownlow, I haven't played to that level again, so I think if I had kept playing to that level, I would certainly be feeling more worthy than, I suppose, what I am now.
Massive thing to have in your possession. Do you actually know where it is?
Brownlow?
Yeah.
Well, it just so happens that I've got it in the skyrocket here, so...
So you, Kevin Murray, you just sort of never leave home without it?
Yeah, well, I need it to get into the nightclub, so I keep it on me at all times.
Is that entree wherever you go, the Brownlow?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So that's the key to the city.
Is it something that you show off or not?
No, I haven't got it out for probably a few years, but I'll probably show it off when I finish my career, and it's the main thing that I've achieved individually in my career, so I might take it down the pub a few times when I'm finished.
It was pretty hot company, Adam. You beat Simon Black, Gary Ablett, and the crowd favourite Matthew Richardson.
Yeah, I remember just about every round the crowd cheering for 3 votes for Richo, so I was sort of willing him on to win as well a little bit, and Gary was the hot favourite that night. So,
how did you feel? And I must say, in retrospect, I think I wrote a story that was harsh towards you, in the spirit of everyone wanting the good guy Richo to win.
Okay.
Because of it. Did you feel that sense that the overwhelming emotion was for Richo?
I certainly did. Yeah.
Did it offend you?
Not at all. Like I said, I was sort of cheering him on as well. He's a fantastic player, and he would have been a well-deserving winner on the night, along with Gary. So I sort of felt a little bit guilty towards the end of the night. But
you were good on stage, though. I mean, you really met the moment, and were quite funny.
I was pretty relaxed. Had
you had any lubricant?
We'd come off a big day. Yeah, we played in the prelim that weekend, so we had a couple of nights with the fellas, and Monday was our Mad Monday. So I snuck in a few before the Brownlow and stumbled my way up the red carpet, and had a few during as well. So
it went down to the wire, didn't it?
It did.
How nerve-wracking is it when you are one of the contenders and knowing your game's coming up and remembering how you played in it? How do you deal with all that?
Well, that's the thing. I couldn't really remember the good games that I did have compared to the bad ones. I know that I didn't finish the year off that strongly, and there was some other contenders that did. I wasn't really too nervous until about round 18, where I think my face started to go pale, and I think I hid under the table for a couple of rounds. So I certainly sobered up pretty quickly towards the end.
Did the umpires get it right? And not necessarily in you winning, but in your games. You know, players know how they're played, whether they've been worthy of votes or not. Do you think that they were on the money?
I can't remember too many of the rounds. All I remember is round 1. I think Andrew Demetrio read out the wrong round.
Round 1, Brisbane versus Collingwood. Collingwood, D Swan, 1 vote. Brisbane, Al Power, 2 votes. Brisbane, S Black, 3 votes. Oh, I'm doing round 2, apparently.
Okay, we have a little bit of a hiccup to start Brownlow Medal of 2008.
I didn't get any votes, and I remember thinking, I played pretty well round 1, so if I don't get 3 votes, I thought if I didn't get 3 votes in round 1, I was no chance to win. So after that, I thought, oh, well, there we go. If I haven't started the year off well, I don't think I could win, and then they eventually replayed it, and I think I got 3 against Adelaide in round 1.
We're always honest with ourselves. When you walked into Crown that night, did you think you could finish first, top 5, top 10? What was your expectation?
Honestly, I thought I could win. I didn't think that, as I said, that period there, I thought that might have hurt me, but I think after about round 14 or 15, I was almost a favourite. So I knew I was in with a chance. I thought Gary Ablett would win, but I thought I'd be around the mark, yeah.
What are your memories of your speech up on stage?
I remember stumbling up there. Before I got up there, actually, I sort of apologised to Gary Ablett on my way up because I walked past him. And,
what did you say?
I think I just said, sorry, mate, you were obviously more deserving of it than me. So.
Did you mean that?
Yeah, of course I did. Yeah. He was, and still is, premier midfielder going around. So I think if he won it that night, everyone would have said, well, he's the most deserving man for it. So, but I got up there. I can't remember too much about it. I remember stopping midway to have a glass of champagne because I think I just needed a little bit to settle down. Yeah, I was. I was pretty honest. I was pretty relaxed. And I think there was a couple of silly stories thrown in there.
Now, there's a very terrible rumour going around that you proposed to Hayley and you didn't have a ring, you put a burger ring on her finger. Is that true or not?
Yeah, that's definitely true, but...
What were you thinking, man?
Well, I wasn't going to make the mistake of buying her a ring that she didn't like, so... And I know she likes burger rings, so I thought I'd slip one of them.
What was the origin of that story?
Well, we'd been talking about getting engaged for a while, and I'm not a very traditional man. I didn't ring Hayley's dad to ask for permission either, so I must apologise for that. But it was more of a spur of the moment thing. We were just at home and sitting in the bedroom having a chat, and she was...
Chat about?
She was just talking about how lovely it would be to get married, and I was agreeing with her. So I just went into the kitchen and found a burger ring and threw it at her and said, "There you go, Dale."
How romantic is that?
Yeah, I know, and we haven't looked back since.
Tell us about the feeling. Only you blokes have experienced it. The exhilaration, the adrenaline, whatever it is, when in that moment, in the first couple of minutes where you are the Brownlow medalist. Have you ever experienced any sensation like that?
No, I haven't. The best time for me was after. I was scared to walk up on stage and nervous, and I didn't know what I was going to say. I didn't know who to thank. I think I forgot to thank the coach, which was Rocket at the time, so I should probably thank him now. So I forgot to thank him. But then after, we had all the players, some staff from the Bulldogs, we're all in a private room, and that was a chance to just reflect.
Reflect or let your hair down?
Well, no, I got pulled up pretty quickly from a member of the AFL who said, "Now you've got a few commitments early in the morning." I think I started about 7 in the next morning, so I think they said get a couple of waters in, and I did that.
You were at the Carbine Club the following day?
I've got no idea. Where else?
That's a big lunch, 600 people, crown.
Okay.
And they bring you up on stage and talk to you about what it feels like to be the Brownlow medalist.
Oh, okay.
You were good.
Was I?
I was there. You were very good.
I was probably a little bit under the weather that day.
You mentioned Gary Ablett before and went past and spoke to him. 12 months later, you planted a big smooch on his scone.
Yeah.
You obviously get on pretty well with Gaz, do you?
I'm not too sure. I'd like to think so. Maybe he wasn't so receptive of it, but I think he was pretty...
No, I think he took it in the spirit of it.
I think he took it well, and that was, again, we were coming off another prelim final loss, so we'd had a few drinks that day as well, and I sort of said to him, "Look, mate, if you're winning, I'm just going to have to kiss that beautiful forehead of yours." So.
Your behaviour is spontaneous, isn't it? I mean, you are like a bit out there, aren't you?
No, I'm not so much anymore. I think I've settled quite a bit.
Is that the 3 kids, is it?
Yeah, I think the 3 kids and the families really settled me and helped me, I think, a lot off-field and on-field. I certainly wouldn't be the player that I have been the last, in 2008, if I didn't have my family.
Adam, your manager Ricky Ollerenshaw once said this of you, quote, "He wanted to be a gun AFL player and he thought he'd walk into AFL footy and his talent would make him." Is that fair?
Yep, definitely. I think the under-18s national championships I played pretty well, and then I had a meeting with the Bulldogs not too long after that, and they said that they were going to pick me pretty early in the piece. I think it was July. So after that, I thought, happy days. Forget school. I won't train hard. I'll have a bit of fun with my mates before I have to get shipped over to Melbourne and start playing AFL footy. And I wasn't prepared for AFL footy. I wasn't prepared for the lifestyle. I wasn't fit. I wasn't professional. And it took me probably 3 or 4 years before I got my head around it. The work rate required.
But wouldn't your coaches and the people around the club have said that to you?
They tried.
Coons, you need to work harder?
Yeah, they tried.
Yeah. And your attitude was?
I was pretty stubborn. I was pretty loose in my professionalism. And that's one of the regrets that I have, that I wasted probably my first 3-4 years of footy.
You thought you wasted them?
Yeah, definitely. I thought I could have become a lot better player earlier if I'd knuckled down from the word go.
Your own view is that you're more mature now about your footy?
Most certainly.
It means more to you?
Oh, it definitely means more to me, and I love playing footy. I always have loved playing footy, but I guess early on I thought I want to play footy and I want to have a good time. And now it's the best thing is to play good footy first and then do all that other stuff at the end of the season.
Well, you have grown up because you're not on the footy trip this year.
That's true. Yeah, I've made
Your choice or not?
I've made a pact to myself, probably 3rd night into a footy trip last year, that I was too old for this and that I wasn't going to go this year, so I'm glad I didn't.
You talked about 12 months ago. You were away in America, in Las Vegas, 12 months ago.
Yep.
When tragedy hit the game, specifically Johnny McCarthy and the Port Adelaide Football Club. Did that hit a chord with you?
Yep, definitely. We were... I remember I was playing poker at one of the tables and my phone started ringing and ringing, and I was in the middle of a hand, so I didn't answer. and it was my wife ringing, and she was just crying, and I didn't know. I thought, you know, there must have been a mistake or something like that. So I just said, look, just calm down. I'll give you a call back once I figure out what's going on. And we met with all the players, and we found out pretty quickly from there. So it was, yeah, look, it was a pretty heavy time. It was hard, given that we had a couple of guys who were really close with John as well. We ran into a few of the Port players the previous evening, so we sort of knew that there was a couple of other teams over there, but there was I suppose the first 10 minutes where we didn't know who it was or anything like that.
So the girls at home wouldn't have known, and they're, you know, 6,000 or 8,000 miles away.
Yeah. So they just heard the reports that something had happened to an AFL player over there, and so they were pretty distraught. And
did that coincide? Was that the catalyst for you, sort of saying, having a rethink about your attitude to end of season trips?
Yeah, it was a little bit. I probably wasn't going to go on this year's trip anyway, but I think I'm just getting too old to keep doing those things.
You feel a bit cheated by the knee injury? I mean, you're a Brownlow medalist, and then you never really got a crack at it after that until probably 2013, when you're fitter and your forms come back.
Yeah, I do. I was very angry for 2011, 2012. It was a lot of, you know, why me? Why has this happened to me? But then, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. So I had a few stern words with, or my missus actually had a few stern words with me. It was pretty much, you know, stop feeling sorry for yourself.
When was this? What period?
It was probably halfway through 2012, where things were looking really bleak in terms of my career. I knew that if I kept going the way I was going to retire at the end of this year, probably play maybe 10 to 12 games into season 2013, and that would be it. But I had a lot of soul searching to do. At the end of 2012, I had some treatment in Germany.
So when you went to Germany?
Yep. Had some treatment in Germany and some follow-up stuff here at Olympic Park, which helped pain-wise, and just a lot of soul searching within to say, you know, it's not that bad. I haven't become the player that I wanted to be, but I can still make a valuable contribution to the team. You
had your zip back this year, didn't you? Is this year the first time that you've been able to run like you did in 08?
Yeah. 2010, I've had a pretty consistent year. So I'm proud of the way that I played in 2010, given that my knee was really sore. 2009, it was not too bad. 2010 it was really sore, and then 11 and 12 it was pretty bad as well. So I'm proud of how I was able to play in 2010 under the duress that I was. But 2013 I've certainly got my speed back and my sideways movement.
Must have been gratifying for you, because you are under the spotlight. You're a number one draft pick and you're a Brownlow medalist, and you've been an elite player. That pressure when you can't produce what you know you can and what they want you to, it must be debilitating, is it?
It's hard. It's hard because I know that how well I can play if I'm fully fit, and I think I got to stages this year where I certainly wasn't as dominant as I was in 08, but I felt like I was making a good contribution to the team, and that's what I strive for now. And I've sat down with Macca and we've had a few good chats about what he expects from me, and that certainly helps my footy.
Good work, Adam. Great to catch up. All of us were pleased to see you back in Brownlow medal form this year, and the fact that your career's got plenty of years ahead of it in the fitness and form that you're in this year. So nice to see you, and it's Adam Cooney, Brownlow medalist forever.
Yes, thank you, Mike. Pleasure.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
This has been a Fox Footy production for Fox Sports.